Okay, so we're going to talk about problems type 3. Do you remember which ones are the ones that take 3 steps? What are the units we use for 3-step problems when we're doing stoichiometry? I gave you that little thing in your notes and said if you remember this, it'll help you know which ones are 3 steps. Look if you don't know. Anybody find it? So let's think about what we've done so far. The first problems we did were, I'm trying to remember what order we did it in. Moles to atom, or no, moles to grams and grams to moles. Is that what you have first? So flip to the page like right before that, where I show you the 3 types of problems. And we wrote 2 steps by some, and then one of them we wrote a 3-step problem. Can you find that? Maybe we didn't get as far in here as we did the other ones. So let's look at this. We had, I think the first ones we did were grams to moles. And we know that was 2 steps, right? And then yesterday, the stuff that you did while you were home, you should have recognized was moles to atoms. Those are 2 steps. So then the only thing left, really, and remember these are reversible, it works in either direction. The ones that are left are your type 3s, and those are grams to atoms or atoms to grams. And those are your 3-step problems. I'm thinking the day we took notes with you guys, maybe we didn't get to this third one when we were writing things down. So if you can remember this, GA3, if you can get that in your head, this is grams to atoms, atoms to grams, 3 steps. And then when you work these problems, if you stop and look at what you're given and where you're supposed to go, you should know everything only takes 2 steps except for GA3, grams to atoms, atoms to grams. So that's something that can help you as we start building on this to remember how to set your problems up. So today we're going to work on that one. Grams to atoms, atoms to grams. So let's just look at what a problem is going to look like. Might say something like this. 7.35 times 10 to the 45th atoms of sulfuric acid is equal to how many grams? So I'm going to look at the problem, and I'm going to put a box around where I'm starting. Box your start, circle your end. And then say to yourself, okay, where am I starting, where am I ending? How many steps is this? I've got a GA or an A to G, either one is how many steps? 3. We just did that. So I know I can say to myself, this is 3 steps. So now this time, I'm going to make a set of boxes that looks like that. And I'm going to come up to the top, and we know that in this box, we always put our given. So I'm going to go up to the top, I'm going to find my given. 7.35 times 10 to the 45th atoms, H2SO4. Then I'm going to stop after everybody have that in there. You want to stop and you want to analyze. What are my units in this box? Eileen? Yeah, atoms. I don't know who answered me, but that's fine. Atoms. What do I have to cancel out then if there are atoms in this box? What units do I want to get rid of? Atoms, thank you. So I know I need some atoms down here. Now, I know you have this in your notes. What is the only number you can use for atoms other than one you're given in a problem? Yes, so that is what you're always going to use as a conversion factor down here. So I'm going to use my 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. And that is the number of atoms in what? Good. So my 1 mole is going to go up here. So I've got that set up. Then I have to stop and analyze. I'm done with atoms. I just got rid of them. I'm in moles. Is that where I want to be? No, it's not. So I have to get rid of moles. What's the only number I can use for moles other than one I would be given in a problem? Yep, 1. Caleb's telling me. So 1 mole goes down here. Those are canceled out, and then I say to myself, okay, where am I supposed to be at the end? I'm supposed to be in grams of H2SO4. How do I figure out how many grams are in 1 mole of H2SO4? Yeah, periodic table. So let's go. H, S, O. I've got 2 H's, 1 S, 4 O's. Figure out the molar mass. That's what you're always looking for. The molar mass. Figure it out. You got it, Annika? What is it? Good. So this is 98.1 grams. And notice how it works out. I had grams per mole. So now I can do the math. When you put that in your calculator, this is the way you really need to do it for it to work well. I'm going to go ahead and put in your 7.35 times 10 to the, what was that, 45th. I can't read that very well. 7.35 times 10 to the 45th, and then hit enter. Then you're divided by, and then parenthesis, 6.02 times 10, little caret, 23, parenthesis, enter, help yourself. And then times, we'll see if we get the same answer, 98.1, enter. And then, Carly, tell me when you're done what you get, and I'll see if it checks with mine.
I have like 1.2 and then times 10 to 24.
Times 10 to the what?
24.
Good. That's what I got. 1.2, and I would say times 10 to the 24th grams H2SO4. Did anybody not get that? No? We're good? Okay, let's do a reverse. You good, Mara? I know you got your calculator later. Okay, so let's look. That time we went at. Okay, so let's do this one. This will be example 2. And we'll have, I'll just make some random number up. 498.6 grams of calcium, we'll have calcium carbonate, is equal to how many particles? So remember before, when we talked about this stuff, I said those two terms, particles and atoms, are interchangeable. So don't let that confuse you if you get a problem that says particles instead of atoms. So we're starting, let's box off where we start, and let's circle where we want to end. So I'm starting in grams and I want to end in atoms or particles. GA, how many steps? 3, good. You want to see if you can fill in the boxes? Or you want me to work through the first one? Try it? Okay, you try it and then we'll check it together. Gotta really think about it. So before you start calculating a whole bunch besides molar mass, let's make sure we have our setup right. Okay, so let's talk about our setup. Do you have it set up yet, you guys? Yeah? I see a couple no's. Let's talk our way through it before you calculate. So I have grams here. What do I need down here? Grams. Where do I find stuff out about the grams? Yeah, periodic table. What is that called? I'm calculating molar mass. Faith, what did you get the molar mass to be? 100.1. How did I know I had to put grams down here, Annika? Yeah, because it has to match up here, right? This is how many grams in what, Mara? Addie, can you help her? 1 mole. So my 1 mole goes up here. Now, my grams have canceled out. That's great. That's what we want to happen. I'm in moles. So what has to go down here? Carly? Moles. What's the only number I can use for moles, Caleb? 1. What do I want to end in? Who have I not heard from? Mara, what do I want to end in? Atoms? At least what's the only number I can use for atoms? Yep. 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Whose number is that? What's that guy's name? Avogadro. Good. So let's punch it in our calculator. 498.6 divided by 100.1 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Be sure that last part is in parentheses when you put it in. Really, I should say particles. Danica, did you get an answer? What'd you get?
I got
3 times 10 to the 24th. Notice I started to write atoms because it's more common, and then I remembered in my problem they said particles, or I said particles, so I made it particle CaCO3. It's okay. I just followed what was in the problem. Okay. Any questions? You want to try some? You ready to try some on your own? Anybody have questions before we stop? Okay. So I will, in the handout that you just picked up, let me look at it. We had to staple the last page on because the copy machine didn't pick it up. But let's have you do, let's go to part 3, which is the back of the first page, I think, depending on how you stapled it. Let's do on part 3, I want you to do these first so I can help you if I need to. Let's just do those 5. So that would be 11 through 15. And then I want you to also do, on part 1, do number 3. And on part 2, I have to grab one of those, I'll have you do number 4. Okay? So part 1, do number 3. Part 2, really it's labeled number 9. And then part 3, 11 through 15. Let me know if you need help.